What's up, everyone? It's Bucky, and welcome to your, let's see, it's the fourth C tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're going to be going over if statements, and these are also called decisions. Now, what a decision or if statement is pretty much a decision that the computer makes. You give it a test, and if the test passes, then it executes a piece of code. But if it fails, then it doesn't do anything at all. In the way we can test two numbers, since that's what we're going to be working with right now, we can test if one's less than the other using the less than signs, one's greater than the other using the greater than sign, if they are exactly equal using two equal signs or double equal, and if they aren't equal at all using exclamation point equal. And there are other tests, but I'm just going to be going over the basics today. Sorry, I got whooping cough. And since we're going to be testing two numbers, we need two number variables. So let's put int num1, int num2. And let me tighten this up a bit. That's what he said. And let's go ahead and just add a simple print statement. Printf. And this just is telling the user what to do. Enter two numbers. And under this, we need to give the user a way to enter two numbers. So put scanf, and inside your argument, the first argument takes, put two variables, %d, %d, and the next arguments, what are those two variables? Num1 and num2, and of course you need the ampersand in front of each of those, which I almost forgot it. So now we have an output on the screen that says enter two numbers. The first number is going to be stored in num1. The second number is going to be stored in num2. Now, for what you've all been waiting for, the if statement. Now, the if statement syntax is this. Let's tighten this up a bit. If, and in your parentheses, you would need a test condition. And again, this if statement, you need to type if. That's built in, that the computer understands. You can't write anything to substitute for that. So if, and in parentheses right after if, you need to make a test condition. So let's put if num1 is exactly equal to num2, and if we say, alright, if these are equal, what do we want you to do? In the instructions that you give it, if it passed the test, you need to add in curly braces. So again, all the instructions, if it passed the test, you add in curly braces, and the test is in parentheses just like this. So what do we want you to do if num1 is exactly equal to num2, or the two values you entered are exactly the same? Let's printf. Let's make this real easy. That's what he said. Let's put they are equal, and of course add your quotation marks. So if they enter two values that are exactly the same, our program is going to write they are equal. Don't believe me? Let me compile and run this baby, and hopefully I didn't forget any semicolons or anything at the end of my statements. There we go. Enter two numbers. How about 5 and 5? Enter, they are equal. Now let me run this again and show you guys what happens if they aren't equal. Just so you guys can see what happens. Enter two numbers, 5 and 76. It just goes until the rest of the program, and it doesn't do anything at all. What this is doing is just waiting for me to put a character right there, and when I press something, it's just going to exit the program. So this is how you can use a simple decision or a test to test the values of two numbers. And again, you don't just need one if statement, you can use multiple if statements. So let me copy this, copy, paste. So if you put if num1 is less than num2, then put %d is less than %d, and we'll put num1, num2. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully it didn't get off the screen. And let's copy this and paste it. If the first number you entered is greater than number 2, then let's put is greater. And what this is going to do is going to test all your numbers again, and it's going to say, alright, if the first number you entered is equal, then it's going to put they are equal. If the first number you entered is less than, it's going to put the first number is less than the second number. But if the first number is greater than the second number, remember this is your test condition after each if, then it's gonna fail, not do anything, fail, not do anything. Oh, we got something going on, it is greater than, and it's gonna run this test, and since it's gonna pass or become true, it's gonna execute this block of code. So again, to reiterate, anytime this test is true, it's gonna do the code you tell it to. If it's false, it's not gonna do anything. So if it's equal, this isn't going to be true, and this isn't going to be true. So just to show you guys, compile and run this baby. One more time. Come on. Let's have the numbers 20. Press enter, and then write 76. Since 20 is less than 76, it's going to write 20 is less than 76. So what it did is it said, alright, is 20 equal to 76? Nope, so I'm not doing this. Is 20 less than 76? Yes, it is. So I'm going to write 20 is less than 76. And then it checked if it was greater than. Is 20 greater than 76? Nope, so I'm not doing this. So I did 3 tests, but the only one that passed is this one right here. So that is how you make a basic if statement decision. So pay attention to my tutorial, practice, and again, this code is going to be on my website, thenewboston.com. So you can just copy this code from right there and toss it into your compiler so you can follow along with all my tutorials. So do that, and once you figure it out how the basic if statements and decisions work, you can move on to my next tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are learning something. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.